Pulling the steering box to get ready to start doing the stiffeners on the frame. I should have probably braced that box a little better before it fell like that. I was curious on what my steering spacer looked like, and luckily mine's in one piece. Usually that is not the case with these guys. I decided while I have this out, I'm gonna go ahead and make one out of steel. You can buy these spacers from pretty much any of the 4x4 shops, but I'm gonna go ahead and overdo it and make my own, and add a little bit more justification for buying way too many tools. I'm at the computer, I'm taking a few critical dimensions, and here's what I came up with. I stylized the shape a little bit, cut out the center, and I also added a fourth hole on the end, and that ties into a hole on the frame rail. So our overall thickness was 690 thou. So what I was thinking is, 3/16 plate, and then making a spacer of some thickness. So it ends up 3/16 plate with a 1/2 inch spacer runs right at around 690 thou. So it should work out pretty well. So getting this thing into CAD, none of the holes really line up. So I take two holes that are in line, figure out how far spaced they are. Once I get those into CAD, I can measure from the center of those and triangulate a third hole. So you just draw a radius of what your measurement was, and where those circles intersect is where your third hole is going to be. So I did the same process for this fourth hole to connect to the frame as well. So this plate will be cut out on the plasma table. So for the holes, I oversized them about a 1/16 in the diameter. A plasma table is not a precise machine. It's very close, but it's not a mill or lathe. That 1/16 gives you enough space to run, in this case, your 1/2 inch bolt through without having to come back and drill or ream that out to make it fit. So I already had a whole bunch of 1-inch cold rolled steel in the shop. This should work perfect. For the plate, I had a random chunk of 3/16 plate. At the end of the cut, I'll throw a piece of steel under the torch so I'm not blowing fluid all over the place. Got myself some new plasma cutting fluid, and this is the first cut I'm running with it. Working great so far. No rust, very little slag, and it's a cool blue color. So testing against the frame, looks like we nailed all our hole locations. That's gonna work. Over to the lathe. Cut off a chunk of my 1-inch bar using a center drill here. So the plan is to bore a 1/2 inch diameter hole through this piece, then cut out the spacers to be welded to the plate. A 1/2 inch drill, a whole bunch of lube, and we're good to go. It'd be really nice to have a lot more throw on my tailstock, but I can't quite justify the cost of a bigger machine yet, and I just haven't found any old iron. So my used benchtop import lathe will work great for now. Facing that off. Using the portable bandsaw in a table. This is not the best tool to use when you're cutting round stock. As you see here, you have the chance of those teeth catching and spinning it. This is a small diameter piece, so it's not that bad, but I probably should have thrown some vice grips on the end at least. Or even better, I should just buy myself a horizontal bandsaw. This guy does the job for now. Back at the lathe getting this chucked up. Doing a quick face to see how thick this is and how much I need to remove for the final thickness. So I gotta get this thing down to 500 thou or half inch. So we got 30 to take off. Do I need to be this precise? Of course not. The more practice you get on your tools and trying to hit these numbers, you know, even if you're just setting an arbitrary number, it'll help you build your skill and hopefully just get a little better on your tools and speed up your process as you go. At least that's the theory. So right on 502 thou. Just going through the same process for the other two, getting all these milled up to the right size. Doing a final chamfer pass on these to make them nice and clean. And we got 3 done. Little deburring on that center hole. And verifying our measurements before we weld anything together. Looks like we hit them. That's pretty cool. And I decided to pull out the TIG welder for this. I don't have nearly enough experience on the TIG. I think I can count the number of hours on one hand. So these little projects like this are perfect to get more torch time and, again, try to build some of that skill. Dip the tungsten a few times, you know, gotta do that. Over to the bench grinder and get more skill on grinding some tungsten. Got plenty during this project. I should probably censor these welds. These are just horrific. But hey, again, such a low impact piece. This is, again, perfect time to practice. Everything still lines up. So yeah, while I was at it, I ended up making quite a few pieces here. I cut out 3 of that plate, and I also milled up a whole bunch of those spacers. Got some more torch time, got some more lathe time, and also ended up with, you know, a nice steel spacer. At the end of the day, I probably should have just bought one. You know, they run about 50 bucks. But what's the fun in that? I'll probably throw the other 2 on Craigslist or Facebook or eBay or something like that. I don't know. So that's pretty cool. Maybe get 30 bucks a piece out of them. Leave a like if you like what you saw here. Or if you're so inclined, I mean, hit that subscribe too. Or, you know, leave a comment and tell me how bad my welds were. I'll have plenty more little side fabrication projects coming up here on the Jeep. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one.